saying, Pomp.
Hold on.
You're the one saying
No. See, that's a lie. 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 That's a lie.
Titles to get people to click on the videos.
That's a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. I did not say that.
Does that?
I did not say that. That's a lie. I did not say that.
Your thumbnail did, Pomp. My thumbnail said XRP to 589. Your thumbnail said Bitcoin to 20 million. What is the difference? There isn't one. There is not a difference, Pomp. And you're out here trying to spin this and trying to make me look like an idiot when you're the one that's doing the exact same stuff. It's hypocritical.
Yo, Banter fam. As you can see, we're doing a live show from the conference. I want to start off that video. Why? Because, you know, it's been a really red market out there. And I thought, you know, let's have a little bit of fun. It always cracks me up, that video, just to see how everyone got really intense. We got the random man over here. Let me see your hero. I think the video we should actually be playing is this one. Let's just find it over here quickly before we do. Where is it? This one. So guys, welcome. As you can see, we are at the Bitcoin conference. Let me actually give you guys a nice little view of how it's actually turning out. It's really cool, guys. I'm enjoying it. It's giving me a nice chance to actually meet the fans. It's giving me a time to get a bit of insight of how everyone's thinking. And my biggest part of why I love these things so much is, guys, we've just put so many like-minded people in one room together. And it's actually crazy the amount of people have made friends, you know, in the last 2-3 days, and just to see how people are coming together. They are tired of the old money system, and now look at this, guys. We literally have a room full. The market is down 50%, right? But we have a whole place filled with 5,000 people. Look at the excitement. Look at the amount that people are starting to actually enjoy what we're going through. And I actually love it, guys. I actually really love, it's humbled me quite a bit. It's been an absolute dream for me to come to the US. It really has. And to meet all these people, I sit and I talk to the camera every day, and I don't actually realize that there's tons of people sitting on the other side. So when we got here, we literally filled this room. We couldn't even see anyone. We had lines running out the whole day yesterday. And you can see just the amount of support and the amount of love we have around here. And it absolutely humbles me. It really excites me what we're creating. And I want to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity and allowing me to do all of that stuff. So guys, let's get into it. I want to go through Bitcoin quickly. I want to go through the stock markets quickly. And we got 2-3 trends that are breaking. What's that, brother? Oh, you love. See, even Rand's watching in the background there. He's taking some notes. And I just want to give you guys a bit of an insight of what's happening at this point, what I'm viewing at the market, and what key indications do we actually have that's going out at this point. So, Kylie, my man, I think let's get into it, brother.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Enter the sniper. So guys, welcome to our beloved Banter fam. Good to see you all back. I'm happy to be streaming again. I do apologize for the time differences. I actually didn't realize, and now I'm starting to learn. That's shame. Like the US guys, everyone is getting up at 4 a.m. every morning to watch the show. And now I'm finally realizing it. So I think we're, between me and Rand, we're chatting it up to say, maybe possibly we should start shifting the times a bit, just so we can make sure that everyone's in a, it's really dedicated, guys. There's guys, and this is a big thing as I'm starting with the stream, guys. How many guys get up at 4 in the morning and have the dedication to do it? And, you know, the market's been down, right? And it's been down the last few months. Do you know how many people in this room right here have said they have made so much money with this community? And, you know, it's majority of them that started about 6 to 8 months ago with us from the beginning. Because it's not always about being right. It never will be. No one will ever be able to guess the markets perfectly or to make things. Never. But we do have a lot of experience in the game. And we like to flow things. And like I said with the whole thing, you know, by joining this community and joining this family, you know, you have someone there every day. Let me just take my WhatsApp off here. There we go. You have someone there every day. You're not alone through the whole process. And guys, you can all be one of these people here that are actually getting somewhere in this game and they are completely in love. So for anyone that is new here, to hit that like, hit that subscribe button, join the best family out there. Make sure you're on our Twitters, make sure you're on our Instagrams, make sure you're on our Telegram groups. There's even a snipers calls groups there where my calls are going there every day. Make sure you're using our tools as CoinPanel. You know, just make sure you're using everything we're trying to give you. Remember, guys, we also have the beautiful website. The description is below for you to go in there. What does that give you, guys? It gives you all the updates from the charts. It gives you, you know, a lot of articles on coins. It gives you just tons of information. And that's the main base that feeds out to all the different things. So if you are joining this family, you are becoming, you know, part of this group, please use everything we got and everything provided for you so we can make sure that you are always covered and you are always looked after. And guys, again, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. I'm truly humbled and I'm truly blessed. Now, let's get into it. Because there's a lot of guys in the background that are enjoying it. Kylie, my man, just update me here that you can see my screen, brother.
All good. We can see
all
everything.
Good, brother. Sorry, man. I got no screens here, so I'm running purely off of my laptop, so as you can see. So guys, where are we looking? You can see I have a bunch of drawing, a bunch of lines on my chart, right? Because I was actually sitting with a whole bunch of people earlier and I was actually going through this stuff and I'm trying to teach as many of them as possible on what we're basically looking at this point. So what has happened? You know, especially since the last time we chat, you know, we were getting to a point, Bitcoin, you know, things were looking a little bit green. Things were looking okay, not too bad. And as we could see, you know, this is still very much that sideways market. You know, we knew we have this main daily trend. And that's this trend line over here, guys. Make sure you got it in play. I think it's a very important trend line because it's sort of indicating that the market's looking to have some bigger movements closer to the end of the month. So possibly in the next week to 10 days. This is usually when we start getting the nice volatility movements. And we're going to get a very key breakout. So it's very important to be glued to that to see, you know, that's when possibly something big is happening. But right now, guys, it's the same thing. Guys, we've been to 40,000 already. We've been to 39,900. We've come back there again. Like, remember this stage over here? It's a non too crazy. You know, we took a few trades last week. I told you guys to move up some stops. Two of them got stopped out with 3% risk. And then we know, okay, we got stopped out. Relax a bit more. We're not there just yet. There could be another, you know, few days until we can start getting in again. But that's great. Remember, if you're not going to attempt on these support buys, you're never going to hit it. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit more time through the next few days, and then we'll start the short-term trades. But now the big question is, should we be worried as investors? Should we be worried that Bitcoin's getting to critical levels that it can break, or, you know, something can be happening out there? So, you know, how should we actually be reacting it? Now, remember, let's quickly go through it again where we're sitting at with Bitcoin. So firstly, and I was explaining to the guys this morning, we're not selling right now. There's no way I'm getting out of this market. You know, everything is at a good percentage down. It's 40, 50%. It's about what do I do next? If this market bounces at any point, am I selling then? That's the key question. And when we finally do bounce, where do we bounce and what does that bounce mean? And that's exactly where this trend comes into play. We could still see, it doesn't matter what anyone says, Bitcoin is still currently in an upwards trend. We are still moving up. We are still holding support at this point. So we know that this is the momentum the market's been moving in. This is how we want to keep it. And this is the sort of levels we want. Now, the reason why we want to keep this level is because if we keep this level, we're still securing higher lows. We still give, you know, we're still securing that if there is a higher low, what does that mean? Higher high, right? Let me explain it to you. There was a low over there. Do you see how we made a higher low? Do you see what happened after that? We made a higher high. Same point here. Is wherever we're bouncing now, we would like Bitcoin to stay above 40K. Why? Because if Bitcoin stays above 40K, it's showing that an all-time high can still come in this year. We could possibly be getting a 70, 80K. We'll see as we progress. But we hold these levels here. We know the bulls are a lot stronger than the bears, and we can then reclaim and make our way up to the all-time highs. So our main focus now is we know this market is going to bounce at some point. Is it going to bounce at 40? Is it going to bounce at 35? You know, at this point, I'm not selling after a big leg down. You know, any big leg down always has a return, right? Look at this. Every single time. Big leg down, there's a response. Big leg down, there's a response. Big leg down, there's a response. What have we got here? Massive leg down. There will be a correction response. Now, if we hold the level that we're at now, it's showing that we still can reclaim an all-time high in the next few months, which will be fantastic for the markets, which will be really good. And if we close a little bit lower, it means we can be getting, you know, if we get a lower low in play, it means that Bitcoin, it's not to say Bitcoin's not going to pump again. Of course it is. But the likelihood of getting the all-time high hits again this year is not really high if we do lose these certain levels or these sort of zones. So what I'm looking at with Bitcoin is I'm not taking any more shorter trades right now. I'm more focusing more on my investor portfolio and what's the last minute switches that I want. And I'm actually going to go through 3 alts with you guys, which I believe are actually not doing what Bitcoin is doing right now. And they're actually showing different things. And I'm just moving and focusing on those for now. And when the rest of the market decides to wake up, I can then take profits on those and then look to come back into these. But what I'm looking at, end of the day, I want Bitcoin to hold the 40K level just for now. If it doesn't mean it's over. Doesn't mean we're selling now and you panic out. No, it just means the next strong leg up, we're going to have to make the decision of starting to free up some cash. Because if we make a lower low in play, you know, it's very likely we're going to make a lower high. And then what does that mean after that? It means we can then have another low after that as well. So for now, we've learned now we don't sell these bad boys. We never do it. Come on, Banter crew. We know what we need to do at these points now. We don't sell on this. It's just about, will Bitcoin still break all-time high? Will these things still happen? You know what I mean? And that's where these key levels come into play. Now, what happened recently now is we got the death cross, right? I must give a shout out to the TK JPEG Morgan here, the NFT cartel. Oh, here. Shout out. Giving a shout out. You can see it's getting quite crazy here now with everyone. Okay, amazing. Sorry guys, it's quite busy here. So what happened now that sort of gave us this little leg now, right? You know, to give that Bitcoin is getting a little bit of momentum up in its way. And now, you know, we had a little reaction. And coincidentally, it's the same thing that happened after the May crash, is this little cross, this death cross over here was the one that now, it's another retail shakeout. It's another thing that the damage was already done. Now, remember something with the moving average. A moving average is a delayed indicator. It's just showing what happened, and it's just showing how trend has changed. But we knew trend changed a long time ago when we started breaking the 50K level. Only now is the moving averages thing. And the sad thing is a lot of people still use these moving averages, and it's a very common strategy. So this is them now panicking out of the market. Now, what happened the last time we had this was in this zone over here. And I was getting into it this morning on Rant show. And I want to go through that quickly as well, guys. Do you see how this was all the damage that was done? Only then, 2 months later, that we then get the cross. And what happened then? This 50 moving average then became resistance. Now, that's the only reason I love moving averages is for support and resistance. I don't actually work on the crosses because the crosses are late, guys. It's looking at something that's happened, you know, already long time ago. That's already priced in. But what it's about is it gives me the indication that this 50 zone over here is something we want to reclaim. And we can see that's the level that's sitting around 47,000. Now, what did I say last week? I said our trend line's pointing at 47,000. We have tons of resistance footing it there. We got the 200-day moving average that's sitting there. So it's showing us that when we're getting a bounce in the market, the 48K is the main reversal trend for us to say, you know what, the higher high, the all-time high is still actually in play. So what I'm looking at now is I know that we can still be in this range for the next 7 days, right? So I'm not panicking out. I just want to see where the low is. Once the low is, it gives me the strategy on what's going to happen on, you know, the next leg to the upward side. So I'm waiting for that. And as I can see, my trend line is showing me around the 1st of Feb. Is when we're looking at a nice sense of volume coming into the market and, you know, a possible big decider. You know, looking after this long leg, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little break to the upward side. But for now, I'm just going to wait to see, do we come and fill the wick again at 39,800? Because you remember when we saw that massive volume bar? Guys, that was fantastic. Someone big bought there. And I keep looking at these 1 hour candles, like there's buying going up in these zones over here. There's a lot of people buying in these sort of areas. I definitely don't think it's retail. I definitely think it's the more smart money that's actually getting into them. So we just want to see, do we have a little, you know, because everyone's stop loss is sitting at 39,800. Do we have a little wick under that? Or do we hold where we're at now? Do we finally give our first higher high, you know, since this second leg to downward side? Because that's sort of what we're looking for. we're looking for this low here to get a higher low in play. So even if we come in full 40 grand again or 4,500, that bounce over there will be critical because it will give us the higher low, which then indicates a higher high. And then we get to the big level of around 48K that we want to break. And that will give us a nice little version of where we're looking at. So I'm using this 50 MA as a resistance. We're below it now. So by the time we get to the end of the month, this will be in the region of also probably about 46, 45. And that's the one that I want to break above, because as soon as I break above this 50 moving average and I hold it as support, it just confirms again that at some point then, you remember, if this 50 goes above the 200-day, as what it did over here. So let me just go through it quickly. There was the cross down, right? Then we started breaking above. There we go. We broke above. As we started getting above, do you see then how it turned to 50? And all of a sudden later, we got a golden cross. Same thing over here. Is when we're making our way down, Bitcoin gets the bounce, it breaks the key levels, it gets above 47, 48,000. And then from that, if we stay above the 50 moving average, it means we're going to get a golden cross. And what does that do? Do you see what it did over here? That even though we crossed there, we had a little reaction. Look what happened after that. A golden cross is always a nice little 2-3 month sort of indicator for yourself. Looking at the previous times, there was a golden cross. Look at the reaction. Before that, let me just go back in there. We go back. There was the last one before that, and that was when Bitcoin was 10K. So it's it is a very significant indicator for us, more for the golden cross than the actual death cross itself. So this is looking good, guys. So for now, I'm not actively trading anymore. I got stopped out a few. Some of them I got stopped out. I got a few TPs as well. For now, I'm just waiting it out. We just want to hold the 40K level. A 40K level still says we can be hitting the higher highs and breaking all-time high this year. Now, if we jump in quickly to dominance, guys, because now we're starting to get that bounce. Again, we came down to the 39% zone, and we bounced again. And you can see very much how that 50 moving average is now the resistance. So when we start to break that and start staying above that, as it did in this zone over here, you could see then it's just indicating that there's a bounce. So I'm still looking at a Bitcoin dominance bounce when Bitcoin finally bounces. Now, I'm not talking about a $2,000 candle. We want to see a $8,000 candle or a $10,000 candle from Bitcoin. That's the real bounce we actually want to see. Because we've been in the slow dragging down system, we really want to see now it is time. It is time for serious volume to come in. So wherever it may be, if the walls are sitting at 38, if they're sitting at 39, anywhere in those zones, we want to see that real response. And then we can really start to see, okay, finally now we've actually brought in some serious volume. And let's erase all this bears knowledge. They've been working their asses off to get it down there. And then, the bulls love to reclaim that. And this is just another indication. Is this dominance? If we break a 50, the 50 moving average dominance to the upward side, and we hold that level, this is just showing us again, we broke trend, we tested. And if we get the big Bitcoin bounce and we get the dominance bounce, it's showing that it's restarting the cycle again. Bitcoin run first, Ethereum run second, and then the alts run after that. And that's always going to be the actual market cycle where we're looking at. So this is looking good, guys. I'm glad we are getting this bounce, and that's all looking good. Now, quick things that we were having a look at, just to see, why is Bitcoin also taking a bit of a drop? Obviously, we got the death cross, but then we also got the Dow Jones showing a little bit of weakness. Not a lot. It hasn't broken any trends. It hasn't broken any key levels, but it is something we want to keep in mind, guys. We've got the 200-day moving average sitting at around 34,800. We then also have the 200-day moving average sitting at that zone as well. So we just got to keep our eye on the Dow Jones as well. I still believe 2022 is green for crypto. I think 2023 is a little bit of a bear cycle. I think the stock markets are going to come down quite hard at some point, right at the end of this year or beginning of next year. So I'm just keeping an eye on stock markets. The only one that really ruins our fun. But as long as we keep holding trend, crypto always catches up, guys. It always catches up. It may be lagging now, but it really catches up quickly. So I think let's get quickly into a few alts of what I'm looking at. We've been through a lot of them. ETH and that hasn't made a lower low yet. So Ethereum's still great. I think farming stage, I showed you guys the weekly RSI stochastic. They're all at the bottom on a lot of them. So all of those dollar costing for investors, I think you're catching absolute bargains. You're catching really, really good things. Now, which ones are looking pretty good though? And the first one that looks really good for me is Theta, guys. Theta is looking fantastic at this moment because it's actually showing strength in a market that's pulling down. And I'm starting to see this big increase in volume happening over here. We've broken shorter time frame trends. And what I like about this is I'm looking at Theta to have a nice little rally to the region of $6. At Cam, possibly, I'm going to be taking a little bit profits. And what I mean by profits, this is a big thing, guys. I take profits into another coin. I don't always take profits into USDT. And what I mean by that, guys, is if Theta has a nice little run to $6, and that's what I'm seeing here, by the time it gets to that zone, Bitcoin can finally be at the edge of the wedge, and it can finally be at that zone. And then I can take my profits on Theta, and I can then go buy more Ethereum, or I can go buy more Solana, or I can buy more. So my plan is not to get out of the market. It's to ride the ones that are looking strong now while the market is in quite a sad place. And then when the whole market finally wakes up, I'll then take some profits on Theta, and I'll then shift it into the next one. So Theta's looking good. And on weekly, remember when we're looking at these zones, let me just mark this up here. There we go. If you have a look here, guys, look at this daily. Guys, look how many times it gets bought up at these levels. Over here, over here, over here. Like for a good 50, 60%, I think Theta's at a brilliant level. Why do I say that again? Look at the weekly stochastic RSI. We are back in oversold. We're at levels now, which is fantastic. When it comes to investor side, it's looking great. So this is one of the possible short-term ones that I'm looking at, as long as I'm putting a little bit of a bigger stop around a 10 to 12% stop loss. If you're looking for a short-term swing, but for investor-wise, I think Theta's actually going to do well in the next 2 weeks. Until we have the breakout from Bitcoin and the marker, until we make a big decision, I see Theta, it's reacting really well. And when Theta moves, TFuel moves as well. So I'm going about 70% into Theta, 30% into TFuel because they like to ride together. And obviously TFuel is a more volatile one, but it brings massive gains when the market's running well. The next one, guys, and I know Rant spoke about it yesterday, but look how Bitcoin's been coming down, guys. Look how it's been trending. But yeah, we got Coti going up. And we see Coti now bringing volume back in. And remember, we were at the stages a few months ago, is at 60. Guys, do you see what I mean about nothing goes in a straight line? Let me show you here quick. And it's probably 618. It must be. But you see the strong pullback, the strong push up from the bulls. Then you have a normal retracement. And if I take top to bottom, look how it hits the golden zone all the time, guys. Remember, 90% of the coins I've been going through the last week are all at golden zone territory. Look where they bounce, guys. So it makes sense that the bulls will reclaim, that they will push it up. We then have a nice little pullback. When it gets to the key levels, the bulls buy back up, the whales buy in again, and they start to send it again. So I think Coti is fantastic. I want to be stocking up more around 38 cents. I think this is one that's running against the crew at the moment, and it likes to do that. And this can possibly be, that's a normal, healthy point, and this can possibly be the next leg that can either take us through an all-time high break, or we can actually just smash through that and completely go to the next level. So Coti is what I'm taking advantage of now because it's showing massive volume strength right now. It is breaking trends and it's completely ignoring the market at this point. So that's looking really good. And the next one here, it has come down quite a bit, but I love the volume that's coming here. So this is a more higher risk, so don't go too crazy. Dollar costing is perfect for this. But if Paribus can close above, 26 cents, between today, tomorrow, anytime this week, and we can close outside of this trend, we're getting a really big volume spike in here. Something's happening here. So I think go jump onto their news channels, go look what's happening with Paribus. Why is this bad boy waking up so much? Because they had a really long wick. And you remember what I taught you guys about when there's a really long wick to the downward side, how we usually always come and fill it? It's very much the upward side as well. Someone sold here, but they never managed to sell everything. It was just such a quick price reaction. So they like to send the price back to those levels there as well. And that was literally a candle. So if we look at the size of this one candle, it was literally 48% was one candle. So I want to see Paribus either between today or in this week. If I can see a closing candle that closes outside of this trend, I'll be laddering in there. And if there's any test, I'll be laddering in there as well. But Paribus, this, fundamentally, I love it. I personally, I'm in this coin quite a bit. I love it very much. And it runs very, very nicely when the market turns bullish. And it's running completely against the trend at the moment. We see the whole market right now. Look at that. Red, 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 red. And what's waking up at this point is Paribus, Theta, and Coti at these points. And then I had a look at them. Wow, they're breaking structures. All their weekly RSIs are at the bottom. They're showing really good intake. So, guys, all the other positions, all the other coins we've been talking about, the only thing that has shifted, let me just jump off here. The only thing that has actually shifted is not the view of, short-term trades. That's the only thing that shifted. I'm just taking a little break from that. When it comes to investment-wise, guys, we have every single signal that is showing that point right now, that dollar costing and stocking up in these zones is super, super, super important. So, so yeah, guys, I wanted to give a quick update for you guys. I'm going to get back to everyone here. Hopefully everyone can say hello for us over there. But yeah, Banter fam, like I said, I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll be doing another show, probably a little bit of a different time. But much love, Banter fam. I will see you guys all on the show. All on the next show. Remember, join the community if you're not a part of it. I'm going to go get back to the fans, to the people that I love, people that I appreciate. They've given me everything. They've given me opportunity to talk, and I'm very happy to be here. Much love, Banter fam. I'll see you on the next show.
Sheldino.
Yo.
All good. Everything was clear. We could see it nicely. Thanks, bro.
Okay, cool. And
cheers, brother. Have fun.
Cool.
Enjoy the rest